The following videotape is one program in a series of driver safety training tapes produced by the Lancer Insurance Group for the exclusive benefit of our policyholders. Understanding the passenger transportation industry as we do, we know that it is impossible to define every prevention step, hazard, legal issue, or safety technique that the professional driver is faced with every day. Therefore, the safety suggestions presented here and in each of our training tapes are given as guidelines only to better prepare drivers to handle the numerous problems that can arise during the performance of their duties. For the professional driver, safety begins well before the driving starts. Performing an effective pre-trip inspection will help you reduce violations, breakdowns, accidents, and injuries before you get on the road. Begin with a pre-trip inspection of yourself. Make sure your appearance is neat and clean, and approach your duties with a positive attitude. You should be in good physical condition, be properly rested, and be fully prepared for all the details of your trip. With safety in mind, careful and complete performance of your job will enable you to identify problems and have them corrected before they become on-the-road failures. The United States Department of Transportation and enforcement authorities have set safety standards for some crucial equipment items that must be checked for safety compliance before you may drive the vehicle. First, wheels and tires. Wheels may not be cracked, damaged in a disabling way, or welded. Lugs and studs should all be in place and tight. Tires need tread to be safe, a minimum of 2/32 of an inch deep, except on the front axle where 4/32 of an inch is required. Tires must not be cut through, and valve stems must be in good condition. Recaps are not allowed on the front axle. Dual tires may not touch, and you cannot mix bias and radial type tires on the same axle. Next, brakes. Brakes must be operable on all wheels, in proper adjustment, the air system essentially leak-free, hoses in good order, no rubbing or chafing, and shoes and pads unbroken and not dangerously thin. Warning devices on the brake system must be fully operable. Third, the steering system must be tight. No loose, bent, or broken parts in the gearbox, tie rods, or column. Power steering systems must not leak, be in good repair, and the fluid level must be adequate. Free play in the steering wheel may not exceed 10 degrees, about 2 inches in a 20-inch steering wheel. Fourth, the suspension system must be secure and not be broken or cracked. Broken leaf springs are dangerous. They could cause spring failure or shift and cut a tire. An air suspension system may not be damaged, nor should it leak. Fifth, the exhaust system must be complete with no noticeable leaks, breaks, or parts missing, broken, or loose. Be sure your exhaust system does not contact any moving part of the vehicle. Finally, emergency equipment must be in place. Charged fire extinguisher, spare fuses, unless your bus has circuit breakers, and warning devices, usually 3 reflective warning triangles. A complete and proper vehicle inspection is a 7-part procedure. The entire process should take no more than 15 minutes to finish. Step 1 is called the vehicle overview. As you walk toward your bus, look it over. Check its general condition. Look for leaks underneath, damage of any kind, and if it appears to be leaning to one side. Look at the unit number, note license plates, and see if there are hazards around the bus. People, vehicles, overhangs, anything that could be a problem when you are ready to move out. Be sure you review the last daily vehicle condition report. Note what problems there may have been and what corrective action was taken. Make a mental note to pay particular attention to these items during your own inspection. Step 2, the engine compartment check. When you are sure the brakes are firmly set or the wheels chocked, it's appropriate to check the engine compartment. Open the rear doors or open the hood and check all fluids, hoses, belts, and general conditions. This will include engine oil level, radiator coolant and hose conditions, power steering fluid level and hoses, windshield washer fluid if under the hood, and the battery. The battery may be in any of several locations. Check its fluid level, connections, and tie downs. With these checks complete and the results satisfactory, secure the engine compartment and step inside the bus. Step 3. Engine startup, driver area, and interior inspection. Start the engine and immediately check your gauges. Oil pressure should come up quickly after engine startup. Ammeter should be in the normal range. Coolant and possibly oil temperature should begin a gradual rise, or the warning light should go out. Warning lights and buzzers should go out except for the low air warnings on air-braked buses. These warnings, lights and buzzers, should stay on until the air pressure has built up to somewhere between 60 and 80 pounds, depending on the bus type. Check each of the following controls for operation, setting, sticking, looseness, or damage. Horn or horns. Operate by tapping. Steering wheel. Turn it to check free play. Be sure it is tight. Wipers. Operate each at least one cycle. Check your washers. Watch how the wipers clean as they operate so you can check both wiper blade condition and wiper arm tension. Clutch. Depress fully. It should be tight but smooth. Accelerator. Push, check its operation, but don't over-rev the engine. Brake pedal. Press. Make sure it feels firm. Parking brake. Make sure it's in place and operate if it's safe to do so. Transmission controls. Make sure all parts are in place and ready to go. Check the mirrors for adjustment. Check the mirrors and the windshield for cracks, dirt, or obstructions. Engage all light switches and check for proper operation. Be sure to adjust your driver's seat and check your seat belt. Check safety equipment for a charged and securely mounted fire extinguisher and 3 red reflective triangles. These may be located under the bus, not inside. If required, check your spare electrical fuses. Now walk through the bus. Check each row of seats for both condition and mounting. Be sure that the bus will be both safe and clean for your passengers. Check all interior fixtures. Check and see that emergency exit signs are in place and that emergency exit warning signals operate properly. Check all exit doors and hatches for operation and tightness. Confirm that the wheelchair lift is in good working condition. Cycle it through a complete operation. As you operate it, confirm that it is clean and there are no loose or broken parts. Check all tie-down straps and belts to make sure they are in good condition, not torn or frayed. Step 4. Front end light check. As you prepare to do your exterior checks, it is important that you include checking your headlights in both low and high beam operation and your 4-way flashers. Be sure your parking brake is set. Shut down the engine, turn on your low beam headlights and 4-way flashers. For safety, take your key with you, if there is one, and get out of the bus. Check the headlights and 4-way flashers. Since it is possible that your headlights will operate properly in one phase, such as low beam, but will not operate properly in the high beam phase, get back inside the bus, push the dimmer switch to activate the high beams, then re-exit and check high beam operation. Be sure to check the operation of the rear 4-way flashers. Step 5. The exterior walk-around. The next phase of your inspection is the complete exterior check. Before starting, turn off your headlights and 4-ways. Turn on all parking, clearance, and markers. The exterior inspection is completed in one circle of the vehicle. Begin at the right front and check the right front wheel. Wheel, tire, rust-stained or missing lugs, valve stem and caps, hub oil level, then suspension, brake lines, and other parts you can see. Walk down the side of the bus and open and check the condition of any compartments and for proper door operation. Check glass and windows for cracks and breakage. Check reflectors and lights. Clean these as you go. At the rear tires, again check wheels, tires, lugs, suspension, and any air lines. Now move to the rear of the bus. Check lights and reflectors. Lights facing to the rear are red, with the possible exception of amber or yellow turn signals. Check your license plates. Then move to the left side. Recheck along the left side as you move forward. Then check the front of the bus. If your bus has a spare tire, check it. Make sure it is secure, inflated, and the proper size. Again, note lights, and go over your windshield for damage, your wipers for tension, and blades for damage, stiff rubber, and securement. Lights and reflectors facing forward are amber in color. Check your signs on the front and make sure they are correct. Make sure all mirrors are secure. Special assistance equipment needs checking as well. When you re-enter the bus, engage the engine again. Confirm that the kneeling action of your bus is operating properly. This completes the exterior walk-around check. Step 6. Signal light check. You should use a helper to verify that your right and left turn signals, brake lights, and backup lights are functioning properly. Have your helper confirm that both right and left turn signals work. Then operate your brake lights and backup lights by engaging brakes. And while the brakes are firmly holding the vehicle, shift into reverse. Have your helper verify that these lights are operating properly. Remember to check the front right and left turn signals. To check turn signals yourself, engage your right turn signal, get out and check all right turn signal lights, front and rear. Repeat this for left turn signals. Step 7. Brake system check. You must do some brake system checks before you depart. These checks vary by the type of brake system you have on the bus. We're going to discuss air brake systems only. You have built up operational air pressure. Shut the engine off, then turn on the electrical system. Pump your brake to reduce air pressure. At 60 psi, the low air warning devices, lights and buzzers, should come on. Restart the engine to rebuild air pressure. In 45 seconds, pressure should rise from 85 to 100 psi. At about 125 psi, listen for the compressor cutout. Make the compressor re-engage by stepping on the brake. Now shut the engine down again and do some additional checks. Watch for system leakage. In 1 minute, you should not lose more than 2 psi. Fully apply the brake. A 3 psi pressure drop is the maximum. Now check the parking brake system. If you are not on level ground, you should chock a wheel. Release all brakes. Pump the brake pedal. The parking brake knob should engage somewhere between 20 and 40 psi. Restart the engine. With the parking brake on, put the bus in gear and gently pull against the brake. The bus should not move. Wait for normal air pressure, release the parking brake, and move slowly forward. 5 miles per hour will do. And firmly apply the brakes. There should be no pull, delay, or unusual feel to this stopping action. You have now completed a bus inspection that will help assure you of a mechanically sound vehicle. There are 2 more inspection points to discuss. First, recheck during your trip. Check instruments, gauges, mirrors, and tires. This is the mark of a professional driver. Second, make a post-trip inspection. The same inspection procedure at the end of the day. Do this according to safety regulations and your company procedures. Points to remember. Inspection is a 7-step procedure. First, the vehicle overview. As you approach your vehicle, check general condition, damage, leaks. When you get to the bus, check hazards in the area and any prior inspection reports. Next, the engine compartment check. Check all fluids, belts, hoses, wiring, and the battery. Third, the interior engine startup. Start your engine and begin to check all gauges, particularly oil pressure, right away. Check warning lights and signals, particularly low air pressure, steering, all switches, all operation of controls, mirrors, and windshield, your safety equipment, and the interior of the bus. The fourth step is front-end lights. Check your headlights, both high and low beams, and your four-way flashers. Fifth, the exterior walk-around. Circle the bus checking all lights, reflectors, tires, wheels, lugs, suspension, airlines, all compartments and windows on the sides. At the front, also check windshield and wipers. Check your spare tire and the kneeling action of the bus. Go through a complete cycle of your wheelchair lift. Next, in step 6, check all signal lights. You may need a helper to check right and left turn signals, brake lights, and backup lights. The final checks are for your brakes. Check your warning devices, pressure buildup, compressor cycle, leakage, operation of your parking brake, and do a slow speed operational check. Once you are out on the road, it is too late to do a pre-trip inspection. With all the accident and breakdown risks you face, it is vital that you perform a thorough quality inspection before you depart. The true measure of the professional driver is in performance, and that includes the performance of your vehicle. Your passengers and the safety and success of your trip depend on it. Lancer Insurance Group has been producing our highly acclaimed driver safety training video series since 1987. Each program is supported with educational materials to increase both viewer interest and involvement. To obtain copies of any of the tapes in our ongoing series, call us toll-free at 1-800-782-8902, extension 3301. You can also log on to our website at www.lancerinsurance.com or write to our customer service department at 370 West Park Avenue, Long Beach, New York, 11561-3245. At Lancer Insurance Group, the difference is our attitude.